gabradionetwork.com. That's sales at gabradionetwork.com.
McFadden's Las Vegas is the ultimate upscale playground. From bustling happy hours to wild late-night revelry. Let loose around McFadden's beautiful mahogany bar. Dance on into the late-night hours or enjoy your favorite sports on McFadden's 40-inch HD TVs. Located at 6593 Las Vegas Boulevard South, Suite 222. Or visit McFadden's online at mcfaddensvegas.com.
The thoughts and opinions expressed in the following program are those of the program's participants and do not necessarily represent those of station staff, management, and advertisers.
Are you looking for someone to provide training to your sales staff? Do you need a motivational speaker about how to handle change? Do you have an upcoming event that needs an MC to handle those responsibilities? Well, look no further than longtime Las Vegas radio personality Aaron Phillips. I am local to Las Vegas and I can blend my talents with any audience. For more information, please visit www.aaronphillipsvoice.com and book me for your next event or training needs.
It's that time. It's time for Aaron's Hour. Aaron's Hour. Your source for information, inspiration, motivation, and fun. If you're looking to talk politics or religion, this show's not for you. Aaron's Hour. Aaron's Hour. Conversations with the opinion makers, movers and shakers, risk takers, and your phone calls at 702-221-7283. That's 702-221-SAVE. Aaron's Hour. Aaron's Hour. Hosted by longtime Las Vegas broadcaster, author, motivational speaker, and member of the Las Vegas Entertainers Hall of Fame, Aaron Phillips. In seminars across the country, he's inspired and motivated thousands. Now, he's going to inspire and motivate you, and he'll do it with passion, style, and his trademark sense of humor. Now, here is the host of Aaron's Hour, Aaron Phillips.
Good morning and welcome. Welcome to the Aaron Phillips Show, Aaron's Hour, hosted by yours truly, the best 2-for-1 show value in Las Vegas. One show, 2 hours, twice as much as me, even though there's half of me than what there used to be. Does that make sense?
A little bit.
Danny, how are you, my friend?
Good.
Good. And sitting to my right, for those of you watching on Facebook, those of you just listening, you would know if he's here or not, but I want to let the world know. A good friend of mine who I've known for many, many years, and we're looking to do some stuff together real soon. Please welcome Mr. Andre Haynes to my show. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Get that voice going. Come on now.
Monday morning voice. Used to being on air in the afternoon, but it's the morning. But good morning. Thank you so much for the privilege and opportunity to be on your show. Thank you for your years of friendship and mentorship.
Wow. Ooh, I just got chills there, Andre. I'm going to have you on the show every week as my co-host now with that kind of introduction. No, but Andre and I have known each other a long time through my years of internet radio and sports. And when I owned a station in town, we always just kept passing and talking. We did little stuff over the years, but the last couple of months, because of the direction where I wanted to go and where I see myself progressing, it was time for me to get serious with Andre. For those who don't know, Andre right now works under an umbrella of his company called EMG Communications, which is PR, marketing. Basically, you got something to tell somebody, some way, somehow, he does that. Plus, he's a great philanthropist here in town. He created the Armed Forces Chamber Network, Chamber of Commerce for our armed force folks here in town and businesses. You name it, this man has done it, and I'll go over it in a bio, but it's my honor to have you. And a fellow radio jock, too, as he does a show on Monday afternoons, which he'll talk about here in a few minutes. So with that, as always, I just want to get started with sharing some thoughts and opinions from the weekend, and please feel free to chime in on anything silly that I say, or not silly, but your opinion matters to me. So here we go. Let's get started. First of all, if you have any breathing problems, I don't know if you guys have probably noticed how hazy the valley has become the last couple of days. The fires from California, of course, have been settling in with the smoke. I saw online yesterday that they believe a spare tire was set on fire by somebody somehow that created this huge, massive fire that's going on right now. Who would think about doing that, starting a fire? Why would you take a spare tire?
Yeah.
And knowingly that it's flammable, and just do something like that can cause this much damage and harm to people and buildings and property and whatnot. That's just crazy.
A lot of people don't think. They just go like, oh, I'm not going to cause a fire like that.
Not going to be me.
That. I know what I'm doing.
Well, guess what?
Yeah.
You done doed it.
I mean, I love fog, just not this kind of fog.
No, regular fog you can at least kind of breathe through.
It's nice.
So if you have asthma, breathing problems, it's supposed to get to about 109, 108 today. Humidity is probably not going to be too bad, which for us is about 20% roughly. But drink water.
Yeah.
Drink. I've got my bottle here. Because by the time you realize you're thirsty, you're beyond the point of dehydration. Yeah. You're in trouble by that point, right?
Yes.
Especially in this town, where everybody says, it's a dry heat. Don't worry about it. Yeah, okay.
When I first moved here in '93 from Southern California, it was the first time ever in my life I went to an ER or hospital and saw people being admitted because they were passing out from dehydration. I had never saw that before.
That's crazy. Yeah. And what the body does when you have heat exhaustion, the way it seizes up and the muscles, restrict and everything. You could see it in like long marathons when people struggle to get to the finish line, how they can't walk, they can't run. That's dehydration at its finest. And so folks, drink water, drink. And I'm not talking coffee or, Red Bulls. The best drink to stay hydrated with is good old-fashioned water. Yeah. If you don't like the taste of water, put a little lemon in it. Put a little Crystal Light in there, something. But water is going to be the best thing to keep your body wet. Yeah. Right?
Yeah, they said being out in this kind of heat, like if you're just walking, you're sweating out like a 12-ounce bottle of water an hour. Yeesh. So you got to replenish because you're crazy. Yeah, you got to replenish.
So stay on top of that. Watch yourself out there for sure. All right, a couple of things from the weekend that I did. I didn't host. I was a judge last night. Yeah. At the first Miss Fabulous Las Vegas pageants over at Palace Station. I saw a little bit of that
on Facebook.
Yeah. Did you see me with the girls, with the dancing
that was
girls?
Awesome.
Oscar Goodman told me to just simply get your own dancing girls, showgirls. No, but he wasn't there, but he did receive an award last night because they also do Fabulous Men. Yeah. They don't have a pageant yet for it, but they did an award.
That's cool.
There were 6 crowns awarded for the first time ever. It was a lot of fun. Judged it and saw some people I knew, which is pretty cool. For a first-time event, they had about 150 people, which wasn't terrible.
That's impressive.
Yeah, so they did very well. Congratulations to all the winners, and hopefully over the coming weeks as they get their crowns situated and they figure out what just happened to them last night, we'll bring them onto the show and talk to them and find out what their stuff is. So that was a lot of fun last night. That was pretty cool. I thoroughly enjoyed that. So I'm available for pageants, weddings, bar, and bar mitzvahs. So whatever you need, I'm there for you. All right, next thing. Have you guys ever had, do you guys believe in mediums or those people who speak to the spiritual side of life? I mean, be honest.
Not really.
So it's a spiritual gift.
Yeah, exactly. That's a great way to put a spiritual gift. You're sort of on the skeptical side,
sure.
Dan.
Yeah.
Okay. It's funny. I started years ago. Remember the show Ghost Hunters?
Yes.
I started watching that show. And it sort of started making me believe more so in I did believe that our souls, we never really pass on. We just go to another dimension. I believe that. And when my mom passed away almost 18 years ago, I had a vision the night we got back to New Jersey, the day before her funeral, which really cemented this. And this was very quickly, I'll draw the picture. I'm laying in bed. I don't know if I was asleep and saw this or I was awake looking at the ceiling and saw it. But in a vision came my mom and my grandparents. And my mom was smiling and happy, and physically she was at her peak because my mom passed away of complications of diabetes and stuff. So her body got ravaged, double amputation, all that sort of stuff. So she came to me in the vision where she was fully healthy physically and still had the mind of today. So she knew, so that sort of thing just kind of makes you go,
Yeah.
Right? So I networked with this lady in one of my groups, Ruth Ann Marcy. She is an angel reader. Okay, whenever she stands up, do you know Ruth Ann? I mean, she you don't know, you have to look her up. She, when she gives her commercial at each meeting, she always starts off, "Good morning, angels," and we all reply, "Good morning, Charlie." So it's kind of a little unique thing.
Charlie's angel.
Right, exactly. It was a neat little thing. So I decided this weekend after last Wednesday's meeting, because I have, things are going on. You and I have been talking about where I want to go. There's just a lot going on in my brain right now. Picture that bingo ball cage.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what's on my brain right now. So I went to Ruth Ann on Saturday afternoon after I worked out at CrossFit and everything. And I'm going to tell you something, fellas. She hit every nail. I didn't say anything to her. She, like you see when you go into these readings, they don't want to know anything about you. They, nothing. So as much as I've networked with Ruth Ann over the last year, she knows what I do on the radio, but she doesn't know me personally. And the angels guided me to pull cards out of the deck that she was using. I pulled the first round, I pulled 18 cards out. That was the number I selected, and 18 in the Jewish religion is like our luckiest number. So I figured I'll pull that. Every card that got pulled, every one of them, all 18 of them, were right on target with something going on with my life and things similar to what you and I were talking about before the show. All that came up.
Wow.
And then there were other steps, and I don't want to give it all away, but let me tell you something. When I got done with that hour session, emotionally, I was tired but relieved, and my body was like ready for a nap because I really literally felt the weight of the world starting to go off my shoulders for the first time in months.
Yeah.
So it was a great experience. She likes to do it out of her house. She's up near Aliante Casino up in that direction. Look up Ruth Ann Marcy or come to my Wednesday morning networking group. If you're interested, I'll shoot you the information. Meet Ruth Ann in person because it was tremendous. Absolutely. Okay. So if you're ever hesitant about that, just go test yourself and go, you know what? Things that make you go, you know?
Yeah. And you know what's interesting about that is everything in life has energy. Whether you want to call it a spirit, a soul, natural energy. And there's a lot of people out there who can help. I mean, from a CrossFit trainer to someone who has medicines and vitamins, whether that be holistic or otherwise. Even a person that might refer to themselves as a psychic, a spiritualist, maybe even a pastor or a priest. But there's one energy that we refer to in different ways that impact us all mentally, physically, and emotionally.
Absolutely.
And I encourage anybody, based on your comfort level and based on your experience and education, it's worth looking into because there are experiences and things that can make us feel good, that can make us feel bad, they can make us feel light, they can make us feel heavy. But as individuals and human beings, we do have options out there.
Absolutely. Well said. And totally agree with you. And whether you have a level of skepticism or belief or not belief, or you just want to say, well, what the heck? It's worth it because when you walk out of there, your eyes will be open, worst case scenario. And what you just said, there's different levels of spirituality, whether it's physical or the mental. And you're right on because when I work out at CrossFit, I'm in that world for an hour. And that's like my meditation. That's where I'm connecting with my body and everything. So you're right on with that. It doesn't have to be with somebody like Ruth Ann. Whatever your comfort level is, just to kind of give yourself that downtime, that ability to look inside is what's critical. So that's a great point. Lastly, I just want to mention this, and then we'll go to break. Friday night, I had the pleasure of going over to Hooters Casino, talk about spirituality. No, I'm only kidding. Sorry.
It's in the chicken.
Yeah, that's right. Yes, exactly. I have to remember we don't have a 7-second dump button here. Man, if I was on internet radio, my brain right now is exploding. I'd be all over the place. I want to thank Sharon for allowing my wife and I and friends of ours to go see. So we saw the show Hilarious 7 over at Hooters, okay? I think it's a relatively new show. I'm not sure of the timing. I know K-Shop I believe, has tickets here available. They're
fairly new.
Yeah, they are. Okay. Yeah. Tuesday nights and Friday nights, 7 p.m. show. And here's the basis of it. It's 70 minutes. Why? 7 comedians, 10 minutes each. That's it. There's a big clock on the wall, and 10 minutes. That buzzer hits, their mic's cut off, and they're taken off not taken off, but they're asked to escort off the stage. A lot of fun. Go check it out. Hooters in their main showroom. But the crux of all this is in my second hour, one of those comedians who won for the night, he was awarded the win by the crowd, John Gilligan. Gilly is his nickname. He was as funny as all get out. And you talk about spirituality. When you need something to just turn yourself around a little bit and put a little light in your life, laughter truly is the best medicine. And John, and we'll talk about this when he comes in the second hour, he provided belly laughs. You know, when you hurt from laughing, that's the kind of laughter that I experienced on Friday night with his 10 minutes. And I hope I have to remind him also the 7-second dump button, because I will tell you the show's not faint of heart.
Right.
Okay. If you're expecting a G-rated show, folks, don't go. It's not a kid's show.
18 plus.
18. I'd even say 21 plus if you don't want to be embarrassed in front of your kids. Okay. You know what I'm saying?
Are we only giving this guy 10 minutes to talk?
Oh,
today?
I got he's a whole, exactly.
10 minutes.
10 minutes. That's it. 10 minutes and a buzzer. He's used to the red light though. So it'll
good.
be okay. So anyway, so John will be on later. So those are just some of the things I did over the weekend. Now I do have tickets to give away for the show in the second hour, or actually we could start now, actually, even with Andre here. This would be great.
Yeah.
Here's what I did. I posted on my Facebook page. I'm giving away a minimum of 5 pairs of tickets 5 pairs of tickets to see Hilarious 7 if you jump into the Facebook chat room or on my wall and submit a question. I'll tell you what, I'll even go further for Andre and what he does, or for John in the second hour, and then we'll set you up with tickets for the show if I use your question on the air. Plus, you must share the Facebook feed on your wall that this show is live going on right now. So do that. Start sending me questions. Call in if you want with a question. 702-221-7283, 221-7283. Give me a question. If it's selected to be used, you're going to get a pair of tickets to see Hilarious 7 at Hooters. With that, we're going to step away for our first break. On the other side, now we get to talk down and dirty with Mr. Andre Haynes. EMG Communications, that doesn't even take a tip off the iceberg of what this man does. With Andre next, right after this.
Do you wake up every day with little aches and pains? Or worse yet, were you injured in a car accident? Were you injured just getting out of bed? If you said yes to any of the above, then you need to call Drs. Danielle Buda and Jody Altman from the Centennial Wellness Center. Located in the Northwest Centennial Hills area, Dr. Buda and Dr. Altman make sure that every treatment provided is tailored to your specific aches and pains. The entire staff is dedicated to making sure that the finest chiropractic care is given to each and every patient. Call 702-458-2225 to schedule your free consultation. Centennial Wellness Center, 702-458-2225.
How many times have you looked back at your staff and wished there was a better way to know how well they'll perform at their position? Over time, how much money have you wasted on the wrong hire? Guess what? There's a better way. Upside Business Solutions gives you the tools to understand how your staff will reach peak performance. Other personality assessments, such as DISC, Myers-Briggs, and StrengthsFinder, does not tell you how someone will perform. Upside Business Solutions uses the Colby assessment to identify the natural way an individual will take action. With this assessment, the candidate will have the natural ability to meet the job expectations you establish to find the best hire. Contact Vicki at 702-506-2960 to schedule a consultation. Mention Aaron's Hour and receive 15% off a Colby A assessment. When you're ready to uncover the mystery of human performance, call Vicki at 702-506-2960 to help bring out the best in your people.
All right, welcome back to Aaron's Hour. Thank you for joining me, whether you're listening live on 1400 AM, watching us on Facebook, or watching the podcast, which you can get on my website, aaronphillipsvoice.com. But now, enough about me and my thoughts and processes. Next up is my dear friend, Mr. Andre Haynes. Let me just read a very, very brief bio so you kind of get a sense of what this man has done and is doing. Andre is an American business owner and a media personality for several decades, which tells you how old he may be because he started when he was 10. Andre Haynes has hosted and co-hosted television shows, radio talk shows, and contributed to national publications. During his tenure, he's also managed record labels, promoted concerts and tours nationally, and represented athletes and actors. As a community leader, Andre Haynes has served on boards and committees. Additionally, he is a moderator, panelist, and speaker. Please welcome officially Andre Haynes to the show.
Oh, thank you.
Hey, thank you. You know what? After getting on, when I received this in the mail and you sent me your stuff, I was so glad you gave me that last paragraph to kind of shorten it because I'm thinking, how am I going to take all this into a bio? The whole half an hour would be taken up with just reading your bio. So give my listeners an audience who may not know who you are, which I'm sure is few and far between. Just give a little background, where you're from, how you got to Vegas, and then we'll kind of get into the meat and potatoes of how you got into this industry.
Okay, awesome. I came to Las Vegas in 1993 by way of Southern California.
Right.
Moved from Diamond Bar near Anaheim, Disneyland for you folks who don't know where that is. And finished high school here in Nevada, 1 year at Bonanza High, the final 2 years at Durango, was a student at, then it was Community College. CSN.
Community College of Southern Nevada.
Yeah, there you go.
Which has a great communication program, by the way.
Yes, they do. And, by age 17, 18, a little bit before, I had my first business incorporated, involved in the music business. And one thing led to another. I'm a proud father of two beautiful kids.
Wonderful.
Got a son who's 9, daughter who's 19. She's a student at CSN and business owner, and I like to be involved in the community.
Absolutely. And I'll tell you what, I mean, again, and from afar, when you watch people through Facebook, social media, and everything else, you can tell a person's value of life by what they do. And not necessarily for themselves, but more importantly, what they do for others. Rarely, except for the post I saw this morning that you also attended a different pageant last night.
Yes.
But you promote out of your heart. And this is why I think you and I are finally getting together after all these years. We're finally found that opportunity. You do it because you give a rat's patoot about everybody else and making them better. And tooting their whistle and their horn and helping to elevate them to success. Because you've had your successes personally, right?
Yes.
And
and looking to have more. But you know what I mean?
We always look to have more.
Yeah. You know, it's 6 billion people on this planet. Right now in Nevada, we have a little bit more than 3 million, 2 million in Clark County. And you've got to realize it takes people. There's nothing you can really do on your own without the support of other people.
Right.
And the best way to not only receive support from people, but to understand the kind of support you want to need is to first give it to someone else.
Absolutely. Pay It Forward, I think, was the name of the movie, right?
Yes, good movie too.
So, I mean, that's a tremendous ideal to have, because our society in general doesn't have enough people doing what you do to give back to the community in whatever way you can. And you do a lot for the community, but we just don't have enough people like you out there, because if we did, I think a majority of the world's problems would probably go away very simply.
Agreed.
You know? All right, so how did you get into the field of entertainment? I mean, you Cali, and then you came here to Vegas and graduated high school and business and all that. But let's focus on the entertainment side, because obviously, you do a lot in that, and with what you do with your company, also you, in my opinion, is in that entertainment field of helping to market and promote. So give me an idea as to how you transitioned and how you found that as your love.
You know what? It started all the way back with music. When I was around, 6 or 7 years old, my parents gave me my first drum set.
Okay.
Played at home,
Did they regret the sound in the house?
They did. My mom got tired of me beating up the pots and pans.
Oh, there you go.
So they finally got me a drum set.
Did they put you in the garage?
No, they had me in the guest bedroom.
All right.
But they gave me restricted hours I could play when they weren't home. They weren't paying attention.
8 to 5. When we're not home, go at it, kid.
So from there, I started to play drums at my church I attended there.
Okay.
And then from there, I joined band in school.
Okay.
And I learned how to read and write music. We played a lot of classical.
Okay.
And joined the orchestra. By 9th grade, I was in marching band and did great with that. And by age 15 or 16, I fell in love with music production and the engineering side, in the studio.
Mm-hmm.
And from
like
there,
what Danny does.
Exactly. And so from there, it went into the actual record business.
Okay.
Not just producing records, but marketing, promoting records, and included in that, tours and your endorsements and things of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
And it just kind of expanded to where later on, I included television, film, sports, live entertainment, and things of the sort that brought me to where I am now.
Okay. I mean, it's a lengthy resume. I mean, because you really dabbled in just about every aspect of entertainment that you can personally, as well as helping others get there.
Yes, and the thing is, it's all connected, and I encourage anybody in whatever industry they venture into. There are a lot of other, I'll say, sub-industries, and sometimes even totally different industries that are parallel. And I believe to be real good at one thing, you have to have a decent or a basic understanding of all the other things that are similar.
Right
because
on.
in life, especially as an entrepreneur or professional, as you know, you can't really just do one thing.
Right.
You have to diversify.
Right.
Especially as a business owner, there were times my business was not making money producing records.
Right.
So I had to supplement my income by producing concerts and tours.
Sure.
And sometimes it wasn't that. It was being an agent or a manager
Right.
or a publicist. But they all kind of overlap
all
one
intertwined.
into the other. Correct.
Right. Absolutely. And like you said, diversity and knowledge to recognize in your business what other skill set you have to take advantage of is critical.
Yes.
Otherwise, you ain't eating.
That's right.
There's no food on the table.
And that doesn't feel good.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. You can only have ramen noodles for so long. I lived on those in college. My goodness gracious. So, all right. So let's focus in now on Vegas. How long? EMG Communications. How long have you had that business established?
Established that in March of 2011.
Okay.
So 7 years.
Wow. Lucky number 7.
Yep.
Who was your first client you worked with when you opened the doors, besides yourself?
Let me think. Who was it? Vernon Fox, former NFL player.
Oh, yeah.
Now he's the head coach of Championship Faith Lutheran High School.
Okay.
Shout out to you, Vern.
There you go. We'll send you a check for the shout out.
And you know what? One in the first or the second year was actually Kelly Tran.
Okay.
Shout out to Kelly.
Yeah, Kelly. How are you, Alex?
She was a beauty queen then.
Yes.
I was doing her public relations.
Ricky Cash and I had her on our show when she was a beauty queen.
Right.
And Alex came in snapping pictures.
Very well. And now she's the director of Mrs. Vietnam World.
That is
so
cool.
One of the pleasures I take is representing someone at the beginning stages of their career.
And see them grow.
Right. And then 5-10 years later, sit back and say, wow, they started here, but now they're here.
Right.
And to know I had a very small part to contribute to that.
That's like a teacher with a student when you see your student, come through school successfully and everything else. So that's really cool. I loved Kelly and Alex. They're great people. And like I said, when she was wearing the crowns and competing, Ricky and I had her on Vegas Unwrapped a few times. Great personality, a smart woman. Alex is a smart cook. He's military also, if I remember.
Marines.
Marine?
Semper Fi, brother.
There you go. Hooah! Because you never say former Marine. Once you're Marine, you're always a Marine, right? All right, cool. So we're going to step aside for our second break. We're at the bottom of the hour. When we come back, we'll get more into EMG, what you're doing in the community, how people can reach out to you if they wanted to chat with you, how you can help them. Aaron's Hour coming to you live from 1400 AM Las Vegas, KSHP. Let me get my teeth in gear. We'll be back with more with Andre right after this.
To drop off or pick up a package across town, but you don't have time? Did you leave an item in an Uber or friend's house and need it back ASAP? You name it, and we can pick it up and deliver it to any destination in the Las Vegas or Henderson area the same day. Express services are also available. Rates as low as $12. Visit blazingcouriers.com or call 877-371-9817 or text 702-429-7418. That's blazingcouriers.com.
Heart of Polynesia, founded in 2008, keeps the Polynesian culture alive amongst the community by introducing those traditions to all ages and backgrounds. Heart of Polynesia strives to be a full-service cultural center in Las Vegas. They host and perform luau's, cultural events, birthday parties, wedding parties, and many other private and public events. For more information, visit them on the web at www.heartofpolynesia.com or call Tusi at 702-497-4398. For a taste of Polynesian culture, call Heart of Polynesia at 702-497-4398. Mahalo. Are you looking for someone to provide training to your sales staff? Do you need a motivational speaker about how to handle change? Do you have an upcoming event that needs an MC to handle those responsibilities? Well, look no further than longtime Las Vegas radio personality Aaron Phillips. I am local to Las Vegas and I can blend my talents with any audience. For more information, please visit www.aaronphillipsvoice.com and book me for your next event or training needs. All right, welcome back to Aaron's Hour. My guest here in studio, Mr. Andre Haynes. You know, when you look up in the dictionary, 2 words, good people, you'll see Andre's face right next to that definition. I believe that.
You could be my publicist. I like that.
Listen, I come from the East Coast, man. That's my roots. 21 years out here from Jersey, and there's still a good part of me that reacts in here. You know, the gut instinct, the feeling, the aura you get with people. And I believe that people are meant to be and cross paths together for one reason or another, okay? Timing may not be the right time or whatever, but for whatever the reason, you make that connection with somebody and you get the butterflies in your stomach, okay? That's you and me, man. That's why I'm saying. It's like, I know you're a good person. I've been around you enough. I've attended your events, including one you just had last week again. And I just get that sense, you know, you are a good person, and that's why I kind of get the butterflies. So, EMG Communications is the name of the company. Let's just give my audience a little bit of kind of what EMG does in town, or what else you do. I'm sure you're available nationwide to help folks, which is good because I have listeners all over the world. But let's just give them a little synopsis of what EMG does.
The main division of EMG is EMG Public Relations, and we specialize in advertising, branding, events, marketing, promotions, and public relations. There are other divisions like Endeavor Pageant Organization.
Mm-hmm.
We have a pageant that is dedicated to community service. There's EMG document preparation, but the genesis of EMG is the public relations firm. And one of the interesting things about it that I like is the company was started in 2011.
Right.
And not only did it grow with its clients, but it grew through its own experience, because I had to go to the school of hard knocks regarding public relations. And I remember when I started EMG, what was the first web address? EMGnevada.com, and then also Endeavor Media Group, which is what EMG stands for. Loved the name. At that time, I was still in the music business full time, and William Morris had just merged with Endeavor to bail him out.
Oh, wow. Okay.
All right. And had the opportunity to meet Mr. Bill. Hello, if you're listening, president and founder of William Morris.
Hi, Bill.
And so when I named it Endeavor Media Group, it was kind of in tribute to that, because I did a lot of business with William Morris. When I first promoted country bands concerts here in Vegas, the first act I got the Warren Brothers, I booked through William Morris.
Oh, wow.
Shout out to Brad. He's now a CAA Nashville.
There you go.
And when I did it, guess what? Afterwards, after spending all this money and time, like 6 months, I realized there were about 60 other companies named Endeavor Media Group nationwide, and half of them have been in trouble with clients and the law. So I had people calling me from Texas, Florida, all these places. Yeah, I gave you $20 for an employment thing and this and that. It's not me.
Right.
I just started. Thanks for the call. I'm glad you found me online, but it's not me.
Right.
So then I learned from branding at the beginning stages, if you're going to brand yourself, a business, product, or service, do your market research and make sure, one, not only that your idea is original, but two, that it's not confusingly similar with someone else, especially if they have a bad reputation.
Right.
So I had to rebrand, and I went from Endeavor Media Group and consolidated it as EMG.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, and once you get labeled something with an existing name, it's tough to change it.
Yes, it is.
It's like what you did basically is you took your business and you put it into the witness protection program for businesses by rebranding and recreating yourself. Cool. So when you got started here, and that was what we said 7-8 years ago, roughly, right? Lucky number 7. What were some of the obstacles you found here in Vegas when you got started? What were some of the obstacles you had to get over?
One of them was 6 out of 10 people I talked to at that time either had a publicist, were their own publicist, didn't see the value in a publicist, or had a bad experience with the publicist. And I'm going, okay, I'm getting in front of the right people.
Right.
I believe they have the financial means to afford my services, and they have a product or service that needs public relations. But how do I get past that barrier? And so what I did, and shout out to Joe Buddha from Las Vegas Informer.
Joe Buddha, good friend here at the shows. We know Joe.
Well, I talked with Joe, and Joe was gracious enough to allow me to be a contributor to the Informer.
Right.
So those 6 out of 10 people who told me no, guess what I did? Instead of calling them to give them a sales pitch on why you should hire Endeavor Media Group at the time to be your publicist, hey, you just got an award. You just opened up another location. Congratulations. Would you be willing to allow me to interview you gratis, no charge? Well, all of them said yes.
Of course.
Because everybody loves to talk about themselves,
free.
and it's free. And guess what? Of those 6 people, by the end of the interview, 4 of them, hey, don't you do PR? I need a publicist. I like you. I think I trust you. Let's do a 12-month campaign, or a 6-month, or a 3-month, or a 1 month. Let's give it a try. Right. So I was able to convert those no's into yeses by coming outside of my box and being a contributor to a great publication that's still around.
Yes, it is.
And offer the people something free. So I had to make a very small investment in them.
Right.
Because it did take time to write that.
Sure.
And then I was able to convert it. And so that's why I say in any business, you have to think outside of the box, and you cannot think with a singular focus.
Right.
You have to be flexible and be willing to introduce other elements to help you be successful. Like a hamburger combo. Everybody loves a hamburger. I do, right?
Right.
We all love hamburgers, but a hamburger sounds better when it's a combo with fries and a drink.
Right.
So maybe they added those 2 items to the hamburger to sell the hamburger.
Right. Absolutely.
Just saying.
Get Ray Kroc on the phone. Let's verify this information. Although he's dead, that'll be a heck of a phone call. No, I totally agree with you. And Yeah, stepping outside, and it's funny. Another thing we have in common. I too wrote for the Informer early on. I used to give Joe some articles. I used to write from the. Who was the guy at the end of 60 Minutes? Andy.
Andy Rooney.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I used to write from that perspective.
He's going to be my Jeopardy partner.
I'm telling you, this man, one of the best board ops I've ever worked with. He's more than a board op. He's the program director here. I get the privilege of having the PD
I didn't know I
in
was
here.
talking to the boss.
You're talking to it, the boss man there. So, yeah. So I used to write from the satirical side like Andy Rooney would talk about. And I did that for about a year. So it's funny, and I still have all the articles I sent Joe. But you're right. I mean, you let them dip their toe in your pool to make sure that the water was at a temperature they were comfortable with.
Yes.
And I commend you for that. And you're right. Sometimes you have to give a little to taste to get the hook for them to realize, you know what, the food really is good now that I've tasted it.
Right. And I'll never forget I have an ex-girlfriend I was with at that time. We didn't make it, unfortunately, but that was one thing she always told me.
Right.
Is she said, Andre, in order to receive, you have to first give. You got to give to people. And I didn't understand that because in the beginning, it was just sign a contract.
Right. Get a business.
Get a check. Right. And go forward. Right. And that's fine. But in being brand new and sometimes even established, you have to be willing to give and invest in others to build the relationship. Because that's the most important thing in business is the relationship. Because I've learned through experience, people are not buying my services.
They're buying you.
Right.
I meet with people on the side. I do some business consulting with folks, and I met with a client last week. And I always start off by giving them the following question, and I know you can answer this. What are the 3 reasons people buy from each other? And you just kind of touched on it. Know, like, and trust.
Yes.
And that's really the relationship builder, which Vegas is really a relationship town.
Yes.
Right? I mean,
it started that way.
Yeah.
Even though it's more corporate, that still has not changed.
That's right. You always walk around saying, hey, I know somebody that knows somebody.
That's
hey,
right.
You know what I'm talking about. Hey. So it is. And that's what business is about. Okay. And when you can get to know somebody on that level that you like them and you get the butterflies in your stomach, but you have that connection, that's when the relationship will take that next step. It's like seed planting. And sometimes people don't understand that. One of my obstacles, sometimes my potential advertisers don't understand that. Because we all want ROI return like that.
Yes.
Every business owner wants that like yesterday. But I have broken up my sponsors in 2 categories. One that expected within like 30 seconds of starting an ad campaign, which is unrealistic, but it happens. And then I have what I call my seed planting sponsors. They get the understanding, I may not need your service today, but if I remember your name a month from now or day later, whatever, I may need your service. I'm going to be
right. And that's amazing you mentioned that because early on with Endeavor Media Group, that was one of the hard lessons I had to learn is I had to not only categorize my clients, but I even had to readjust the way I delivered my services. For example, then in 2011, I would allow someone to come on and sign up for 30 days or say, Andre, I have this one specific thing that I need.
Right.
Well, guess what? I realize I can't do everything.
Right.
I can't walk on water like I wanted to.
Exactly.
And I also realized I had to sometimes forcibly relax the expectation that my clients had on me because if I wasn't able to meet that, it was a bad reflection on me. So now if a person comes to me, guess what?
Overpromise, underdeliver.
Right. So now if a person comes to me, Andre, I need a publicist, an agent, a manager, or whatever it may be, guess what? We're going to do a minimum 12-month campaign.
Amen.
Because I know it's going to take 90 days just to develop. And then every quarter after that, we're going to reevaluate the impact and measure it. Do we need to adjust? Do we keep it the same? Is it too much? Is it too little? And I know in order to be realistic and to make sure they're happy, that's going to be at least 6 months. But if I tell a person, if I agree to a 30-day term, a 1-day term to appease that client, I'm doing myself a disservice because if it doesn't go the way they want, and it always doesn't, I can't promise that.
Of course.
All I can promise is to perform a service, but going back,
the results and return is
I had to learn to readjust that and to change how I do business. So I would encourage the business owners and entrepreneurs out there, as you say, under promise, over deliver. And guess what? Sometimes I drop the ball. And when I do that, I've got to be man enough, and it hurts my pride and ego, but to pick up the phone or say face to face or via text message, hey, I messed up. This is what I can do to make it right. I hope I keep your business. I apologize. I had to do that just recently with a client from one of my other businesses, and they're a little upset with me and didn't want to talk on the phone, but I left voicemails, I texted, I emailed, this is what I'm going to do to rectify the situation. And I'll give them space. But going back to what you said earlier, relationships, and part of making a long-lasting and a successful relationship is, as business owners, we have to show people sometimes that we're flawed.
Right.
And that we're human just like they are. And that's okay. I wish I was Superman. I would love to be Superman.
I'm Batman. You can have Superman. Okay. I'll be Batman.
but that's not realistic. And sometimes we have to be touchable.
Right.
We have to be relatable and let people know, hey, life happened, or I just dropped the ball.
Right. You have to be human. You have to have that credibility. You have to be honest and upfront, loyal and trustworthy. And I agree with you 1,000%. I learned the hard lesson early on. I would have sponsors come on. This was very early on when I started radio 12 years ago, 30-day commitments. And I'm like, I'm chasing sponsors every 30 days for either new contracts. And then, of course, the ROI was so high, I couldn't meet those standards. So then I widened the window saying a minimum contract would be 3 months.
Right.
Then 3 months was good, but still is on that borderline. So now I've readjusted my packages to being a minimum of 6 months. Yeah. Because as human beings, we need repetition.
Right.
And it's not going to happen over one show. It's not going to happen over 4 commercials. It's constant.
Right. And the thing that's interesting that you said earlier, going back to relationships, that's where it all starts. And when you look at a romantic relationship, you look at a marriage, you even look at a job. Everybody wants stability and they want longevity, but they don't like to give it to others. So as a business owner, you have to demand it, because some people, they get a job, they want to stay there for a while. They want to get promoted, they want to get raises, they want those props. Most people who get in a romantic relationship, they want it to last a very long time. So as business owners and entrepreneurs, we have to demand the same from our clients.
Absolutely. Before we go to break, I have a question that just came in through the Facebook read from Barry. His question is this: when you are marketing someone or something, what avenues or avenue do you take to get the person or their product out there?
Great question, Barry. You know what? It varies. There is not a one-size-fits-all method that I use for clients. Actually, what I do, first I assess their needs, then I look at what their vision is, and we determine if, based on their time and their budget, if that's doable. And we create a plan and a strategy to accomplish that. So if a person says, Andre, I've got this goal, everybody else is spending $1 million to make that happen, but I've only got $100,000. Okay, fine, we can do that, but maybe we have to spread it out more over time to try to get more value or make those dollars go further. Or if a person says, Andre, it costs $1 million to do this, but I've got $10 million, then heck, we can make it happen a lot faster.
Of course.
But the strategy and the plan that we create specifically for that client, custom and tailored to their needs, because one person may have 40 hours a week, another person may have 10. We create it to be realistic and fit that.
There you go. One size does not fit all. All right, let's go to break. I have another question, and then we're going to go into a segment that I like to call Getting to Know You.
All right.
Totally off the beaten path. I know you'll be prepared for it. More with Andre Aronzour, K-Shop, 1400 AM Las Vegas. We'll be back right after this.
Have you recently looked outside your home at your landscaping and thought, it's almost that time of year to start cleaning up? But then reality hits you and you realize that you just don't have the time you want to work on it. Thankfully, there's a solution. Martinez Lawn Service is ready to help. Serving the Las Vegas Valley for over 15 years, Martinez Lawn Service can help you design, build, and maintain your functional landscape. From simple yard cleanup, trimming, and sprinkler repair to designing desert and water-smart landscapes for you to enjoy and entertain guests. So what are you waiting for? Visit them on their website at martinez-lawn-service.com or call them in their office today at 702-373-0643 for a free estimate to see your vision come to life. Call 702-373-0643. Martinez Lawn Service, over 15 years of service and experience. Call today, 702-373-0643. How many times have you looked back at your staff and wished there was a better way to know how well they'll perform at their position? Over time, how much money have you wasted on the wrong hire? Guess what? There's a better way. Upside Business Solutions gives you the tools to understand how your staff will reach peak performance. Other personality assessments, such as DISC, Myers-Briggs and StrengthsFinder does not tell you how someone will perform. Upside Business Solutions uses the Colby assessment to identify the natural way an individual will take action. With this assessment, the candidate will have the natural ability to meet the job expectations you establish to find the best hire. Contact Vicki at 702-506-2960 to schedule a consultation. Mention Aaron's Hour and receive 15% off a Colby A assessment. When you're ready to uncover the mystery of human performance, call Vicki at 702-506-2960 to help bring out the best in your people.
All right, welcome back. Coming around the clubhouse turn on hour number 1. Start firing in those questions or call in. I got tickets. I got a minimum of 5 sets of tickets to send you to Hilarious 7 on a Tuesday or a Friday, whatever's your convenience. I need a question. Barry, you just saw the show with me Friday night, so I ain't sending you any more tickets. Anyway, all right, one final business question, and then we're going to change gears on you. Someone who's sitting and listening to this right now, who's in business or has a product or service that sells whatever, they're probably saying to themselves, okay, he shared with us the whatnots, but give me a couple of things people should look at to evaluate for themselves and say, you know what, I need something like what Andre offers. What should somebody be looking at or questioning themselves for?
You know what, you have to ask yourself, can you afford not to have me? And I'll give an analogy. Years ago, driving my car, started losing acceleration.
Okay.
Started losing power. I didn't take it to the shop. Something told me to take it to the shop. I didn't. I kept driving it. And 2 months later, transmission broke.
Oh, no.
$5,000 later.
Oh, no.
So as that relates to an individual, a business, a product, a service, or a brand, you've got to look at your bottom line and you've got to say, can I afford not to invest the time and money into my brand today so that I can have the harvest or the money or the success I want to have tomorrow? Because success is a limited window. And if you don't go through that window, somebody else will.
Absolutely. Good job. All right, well, there you go. So you've got to look at and evaluate where you're at and look at it from a perspective, can I not afford to do this? At least inquire and find out if it's in your wheelhouse and whatnot. So
correct.
Love it. Love it. All right, time to change gears on you, my friend.
All right.
It's time now to get to know you. I like to throw this curveball in because I want my listeners to know Andre, the person behind the business. We've talked business now for 30 minutes, and they know you're morally right, you've got integrity, you do what you say, and all that great stuff. Oh, by the way, before I forget, contact information to get in touch with you.
EMGNV.com. That's EMGNV.com.
Perfect. And also, I want to give you an opportunity. You two are on the radio on Mondays, so give a pitch
yes,
for what you do on Mondays.
The EMG radio show every Monday from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on 91.5, the Rebel HD2, and also streaming online at emgradioshow.net. And start tuning in because this gentleman is going to be a recurring special guest on the show and have a segment.
You'll hear my voice real soon on his show, so that's cool. My wife will send the first check out to get me out of the house to do that, so it's on the way. All right, here you go. Rapid-fire questions so my audience get to know you as a person behind the business. The first question should be pretty easy, giving you background, but what's your favorite all-time song? When it comes on your radio, in your car at home, you stop everything, you're just humming and singing to it.
James Brown, Get On Up.
There you
Good one.
Favorite all-time actor, male, movie, TV, doesn't matter.
Paul Giamatti, Sideways.
Oh, it's one of my favorite movies ever.
Right here, brother.
I love that movie.
He's a great actor.
Yes.
I've never really seen him in anything bad.
Yes.
Paul Giamatti.
My second favorite, Kelsey Grammer.
Okay.
Frasier, Cheers.
Frasier, yeah, okay, from the comedic side, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, favorite all-time actress?
Ooh. I almost don't have one. I'm going to say Angelina Jolie.
She's good.
She did Salt, and there are a few other movies she did that I like. The action ones.
Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Very good one.
Right. Her name comes up a lot when I ask that question, doesn't it? All right, favorite all-time movie. When it's on, you're there watching with popcorn and a beer.
Sideways, Gladiator, and Superbad.
Wow, that's an interesting collection of movies. Give me them again. Sideways.
Gladiator.
And
Superbad.
Yeah,
Superbad. I'm not a Russell Crowe fan.
Okay.
So Gladiator, he was in that one. Wasn't that him in Gladiator? I liked him in Noah's Ark. I thought he did a good job in that one. But just for some reason, I'm just not a big Russell Crowe fan. I don't know. Nothing against him. He just
Russell, if you're watching or listening, he said that aim that way.
We're fans.
Yeah. They're fans. Send your comments to Aaron Phillips. No, I'm only kidding. All right, favorite cartoon character growing up and why?
Pink Panther.
Why?
The guy never said anything, but he was so doggone cool. And no matter how upset visibly he got during the cartoons, he always ended up just being cool. And that's how I try to be.
I could see the comparison there, why you would migrate to that. He never said a word, but yet he said a lot.
That's right.
And, of course, messing around with Inspector Clouseau.
That's right.
Was like
you
the
know
coyote.
your cartoons.
Heck yeah, man. I grew up watching Pink Panther.
All right.
One of the biggest jokes around with that was, what's the theme song that Pink Panther sings when he crushes an insect?
Ooh, you got me on that one.
Dead ant. Dead ant. Dead ant. Dead ant. Okay. Anyway, I digress.
We got another comedian in the room.
That's why I don't do open mic nights.
Buy your tickets now. AaronPhillipsVoice.com.
John Gilligan has nothing to worry about in the next segment with my humor. Favorite all-time genre of music?
Jazz and classical.
I could see that. Who's your favorite jazz artist?
Ooh, Kenny G.
Kenny G. Okay. And classical? You talking like classical, like
Jabowski.
Mozart? How do you spell that? Is that like a double word store on
TCHIABOWSKY. Don't quote me.
Pretty close. If they didn't nail it,
I was going to say
close.
there was enough consonants in there to sound right. So, all right, if money were no object, what's your all-time favorite car you'd love to see parked in your driveway one day?
Ooh, that would be the Tesla Model X I'm going to get very soon.
Tesla Model X. Why not the 3?
I plan on getting the 3 for my daughter. Hope she's not watching. That's going to be a surprise. But the X for when I have the kids, and then when it's just myself or a lady, the Roadster.
Ooh.
The X is with the doors, right?
Yes, sir.
Oh, like a DeLorean. Oh,
after we get off the air, when we meet up later this week, I'll talk to you about Tesla.
Okay.
All right. Okay, you're a very busy guy, but what do you like to do for leisure to chill out and give yourself that balance?
Cartoons, video games, chess, or travel.
Is it Pink Panther still you look up to watch? What's your favorite cartoon today? Today's genre of cartoons.
You know what?
Do you have one?
And the new one's probably Teen Titans with my son.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Very cool. All right. Now, what's your favorite Las Vegas themed thing to do in town? That's typical Las Vegas.
I like the roller coasters.
What's your favorite one? There's only a couple really.
State Line. State Line first. Adventure Dome second. New York third. And my daughter and I were going to try the zip line because that looks fun.
Nice.
I want to do the one Fremont Street.
Oh, yeah, the long zip line. Yeah.
She did the one on Rio. I'm not that brave.
That's much higher and longer, isn't it?
New York roller coaster, if you haven't been on it recently, you wear a VR headset now while you're on it.
To make it like 3D?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
No way. No ride at the top of the stratosphere or anything?
Not that brave yet.
I can see you trying bungee jumping, though, at some point.
I'm working up to it. I want to try skydiving.
Really? Okay, nice, interesting. Well, listen, here's the good thing, my friend. You got out of the hot seat pretty easily, so we're done with getting to know you.
Okay.
You
Cool.
did well. You did very well. Very great answers. We never get bad answers here.
No, that was a really good round.
Thank you, my friend, for coming in.
Thank you very much again for the opportunity.
I look to do this more and more often. So that's Andre Haynes. Look, get in touch with him. If you have a message or something that you want to get out there, do it. Reach out to this man. He knows what he talks about. Real quickly, Kathy Rickley and also Richard Seipert asked, what's your favorite travel place on your bucket list that you want to do?
You know what? Thailand. There's a spa I just discovered the other night online. There are small huts inside the tree, and each one has a pool, about 1,500 square feet, 3, 4, 12-day getaways. I can't think of the name. Nice. I just saw it the other night.
My daughter's in Japan. She's wrapping up doing 2 weeks of rent there, and then she has 2 weeks in Thailand before she goes to China for like 2 months. So give me the name of that spa. I'm going to send it to her and see if she's anywhere near it. All right, hour number 1 is just about in the books. Want to thank you for listening and watching and all that good stuff. We have a couple of contenders for tickets, but you got to get them in if you want to get tickets for Hilarious 7 at Hooters. Give us a call, 702-221-7283, or shoot it in the Facebox message, or text me if you have my number. I'll use that too. All right, thank you, Andre. We appreciate you much,
Thank you very much, sir.
Hour number 2, John Gilligan coming up in the second hour. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back hour number 2 in a few minutes.
From across the sea, it lingered there. Touch your head and walk with me. All summer long we sang a song and strolled the golden sand to sweetheart sang the summer wind. Like painted kites, the days and nights, they went flying by. The world was new